Drink this blue. Put a nigga on your chest. And no more for the blue blast. Yo, the motherfucking Iceman, Mr. Insane, aka Mr. Crunkadelic. It's the Iceman Unchained, the Iceman Show, on a chronic Sunday evening. It's always crucial. It's always crucial. It's always crucial. There's always chaos and disorder. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? And after you dig it, can you smell it? Was thinking this weekend, whole lot of shit was been going on the last week or so. So I've been tossing a lot of shit around pertaining to what direction do I want to take the show in, and if I do choose on a direction, what are we going to do from there? So just been trying to wrap my mind around a few things. Want to thank the brothers and sisters for donating to the nonprofit and caring about the Iceman brand and where we're going to go next. So you folks that have been supporting the show, whether it be through donations or subscriptions over the past 3 years, I appreciate your patronage, and hopefully we can bring some more folks to the forefront and educate them and send them out to get more brothers and sisters into the circle, so that we can educate each other as well as ourselves and take this ministry to the next level. But anyway, when I was thinking about what direction I want to take the show in, I keep forgetting that my first book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1, is selling steadily, and I need to get back out here and promote the book and do the things that I need to do, so that we can. And by the way, if you haven't gotten my book, please get it. If you have my book and you've read it at least once, please read it 2 or 3 more times. I guarantee there's something you missed in the book. I talk about dating in the book. I talk about racism and white supremacy and how that affects you as a black man or a black woman, or whether you're from the dominant society, or whether or not you are, you're just a student of politics. The book is a must read for, if you consider yourself to be an up-to-date progressive, then no progressive can be revolutionary without information and cutting-edge information. And I feel that The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1, has that information. You can get my book in either paperback format or tablet format or Kindle format at Amazon.com, and you can also get my book. You can get an autograph. You can get an autograph, paperback, again, autograph from myself, the Iceman, and just go to my website, asktheiceman.com, and just scroll down on the first page to add to cart. Click that, and it'll ask you uh, what quantity or quantities of my paperback book do you want to order? And what happens is that will trigger something uh, that'll send me an email, and then I can go from there, and I will send you your because you're going to be paying up front. That once you click on add to cart, it's going to cover shipping. So all that's going to be paid up front, and all I have to do is send you the book. So that's all we have to do. If there's if you have to if you're a military member, service member, or spouse, or a dependent, and you're overseas, send me an email before you buy an autograph copy of the paperback, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. Email me first, because if that's something where we're going to have to send something overseas, then I want to make sure I get the amount of money that it's going to cost. I think you can go to USPS.org or something like, or .gov, and I think it has a calculator on there. But that's something you need to go take care of on your end. Okay, and then you can email me, and then I'll make a special button just for you, so that the right amount of shipping and tax is factored in for you on that. So yeah, check out my book, and also check out my website, AskTheIceman.com. Anyway, I was also thinking about the whole thing with dating. I'm going to be honest with you, because I know so much about the female psyche, and I know so much about how women think, and then too, the stakes are not that high when you date at my age. Well, take that back. The stakes are still high. It just depends on who's the person that we're talking about. Are we talking about the woman, or are we talking about the man? That's where the problem comes in at. Because stakes ain't that high for me, because I'm not trying to have no more kids. I'm not saying that I will never have any more kids, because I thought I wasn't going to have no more kids before, 10, 15 years ago, and I got a bunch of bitches pregnant. So I think I learned not to say never. But for a woman my age, in their 50s or mid 50s, and she's got the mentality that she really isn't a woman unless she's got a relationship. Some women will just take some women will just take the whole thing of just getting attention from me. That's enough for them. Getting attention is enough for them. That's what that whole internet dating thing was born out of. It's a popularity contest. And I'm going to get into that a little later in this video about popularity contests, and why that behavior, wanting to be popular, is something you expect from women, not from men. Usually men who want to be popular are usually kind of moist, or they are moist, or they're just straight up homosexual. Now, we're not here to argue the validity of homosexuality, so we'll just leave that where it is. What I'm saying to you is that I guess it depends on the person who has something to lose if being single continues. Well, usually, even with a bunch of feminists who probably would not admit it, but truly in American society, it's the woman that loses. It's not pimpish for a woman to be 50 years old and really not packing a man like she used to. That's not cool. That's why these women, these non-black women who become women of a certain age, they lose zeal and importance with their own men. And that's a whole European thing. We're getting into Europeanism. We're getting into that whole European mentality. When you start talking about you get to talking about American culture. We have a culture that where we want to be youthful as long as we can, even when it's painfully obvious that youth has, or we have seen our better days. And again, the people who end up being victim to that whole mentality is whom? Women. It's women. Because women are made up more less muscle than we are, and they're made up of less of I don't know if it's about water. I don't know about the whole water issue. Maybe it might be, we might have more water than women. I think men have more water than women do. I don't know. I don't remember what the truth is, because the truth is different than it was when I was growing up, going in science. Okay. Anyway, women, the older they get, lose what we call in society relevance. Remember, I told you in subsequent videos that a woman's relevance is tied to what? Her ability to bear children. So whether she gets hit with the hot flashes and the cold sweats and the symptoms of menopause, whether she gets hit with those symptoms or she decides she's going to tie her tubes, maybe it's medically necessary that she get her tubes tied so she don't have more kids. Get what's called a tubal ligation. It's called a tubal ligation. And it's considered a fertility procedure. This is where the whole thing of giving away diamonds and shit like that to a woman, that's where that whole thing came up. Another Eurocentric ideology. Because a woman's relevance decreases over time, how a man says to her she's relevant is by giving her jewelry. This is me telling you the pussy's still good. The pussy's still popping. You my bottom bitch, as the pimps will say. Well, you still my bottom bitch. In case I didn't say that right. I don't want to sound like a nigga that don't have 10 toes down in the game. But that's where that's where all that comes from. You're great. You're becoming an older person, an older woman, and your relevance is tied to bearing children. So if you are a woman of a certain age, then it's considered that you are not relevant. So in a lot of Caucasian, remember, we're always talking about, we're not just talking about race, we're talking about culture. When you start talking about these different ethnic groups, like you talking about, let's say Mexicans, because I'm in the southwestern part of the United States. So instead of talking about all Latinos, let's just stick with Mexicans, because Mexicans are the ones that are mainly in denial, along with some Central American Hispanics. We know Mexicans are the ones that, they're considered the niggers of the Latinos, and they're also considered to be the poorest and having less class. But what this Puerto Rican chick told me too, she said that it also counts because of it's because we're citizens and they're not. She said that's one thing that Mexicans and Puerto Ricans have. That more Puerto Ricans say, hey, we're U.S. citizens, which they are. They still have they still have the same rights as somebody born here, even though they were born in Puerto Rico and they don't speak no English. I've served with Puerto Ricans, from straight up real Puerto Ricans, not that J-Lo shit. I served with some real Puerto Ricans over there in Iraq, and them dudes could speak a lick of English. Okay, I'm like, how the fuck are you in the army and you can't speak Spanish and you can't speak English? But these guys, some of these guys are National Guard guys, some of these guys were Army Reserves. The Army will train any motherfucker. If they can find somebody to speak your language, they'll put your ass, they'll make you a U.S. citizen, and they'll put you through the goddamn system. Quick in a motherfucker, you pass that MEPS physical. Shit. Okay? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here with that old bullshit. But Mexicans consider themselves to be white. And whites who are, Caucasians that are born in America are considered to be white. And what do they do? What's the culture within their race? What do? They throw away the women who can no longer have kids. That's why in Mexican culture, it's not uncommon for, especially if we're talking about going back 20 to 30 years, of Mexican women being 50 and 60 years old having oops babies. It's not uncommon, especially if they 10 toes down, stomp down real Mexican. They don't believe in no birth control. Their women will still be pumping out kids at 50-some years old. And to a certain degree, that's how black women used to be. Till the 70s. Then instead of having babies within a relationship, they started doing this single mom shit. But their women throw them away when they get old. When a man is saying, hey man, I don't want no more kids. All our kids are over 15 years old. Hey, you know, bitch, you know, that's, I don't know if y'all ever sung this song in school, but when I was in school, everybody, you know, schools did everything the white folks did. And they used to have this song called "The Old Gray Mare Ain't What She Used to Be, Ain't What She Used to Be, Ain't What She Used to Be. The old gray mare is not what she used to be, ain't what she used to be." They used to have this song that we used to sing as kids. What you think they talking about? They not talking about a horse. They ain't talking about no damn horse, although a mare is a female horse. They ain't talking about no damn horse. They talking about that old silver fox. They talking about that old ass white woman. That's who they talking about. That's who the fuck they calling the old great goddamn mare. They didn't give a fuck back in them 50, 60 years ago. They just write a song about any goddamn thing. You couldn't make no money off that shit today. The old gray mare ain't what she used to be. That's what that song was about. See, you niggas are so young, and a lot of y'all go to school in the hood, so they ain't gonna sing no shit like that and get away with it in elementary school. You gotta understand, I went to elementary school in the 60s and 70s. Okay? So that they get away with that shit. Hell, they got away with having a restaurant when I was a kid called Sambo. What's that tell you? Hell, they could have had a restaurant called Black Ass Niggas, and we still would have went to it. Oh man, them white folks, they so funny. They got a restaurant called Black Ass Niggas. They just bullshitting. This bitch look like she been all in the house fucking. Just coming out the house look like, you always tell motherfuckers that just came. You can always tell a woman she just came, cause it's had that nasty, you know. Oh, I just had a dick up in me. Oh, I just had a penis up in me. I just had a big piece of dick broke off between the crack of my ass. Then the bitch up here twirling her hair and walking with some little ass, tiny ass, look like some half drawers on. Look like some half goddamn drawers. Okay? I always tell a bitch that just got through fucking. So what y'all been doing? Oh, we just been in here fucking on each other. Fuck out of here. Somebody got some half black babies. Uh-oh. Somebody been getting dipped with the chocolate stick. Somebody been dipping their chocolate stick in some taco meat. Okay? Fuck out of here, man. But when you start talking about culture, and you look at Mexicans and straight up white folks in America, what you get culturally is that they throw their women away. Hey, you bitch, you can't have no more kids. You're old, fucking old. You a bitch, you old. No, bitch, you old. You know, I ain't trying to roll over on that shit no more. I got some 30-somethings working in the office look way better than the shit I got at home. Shit I got at home stank. It ain't clean sometimes. When the pussy start farting, it smell like spoiled lima beans and pig farts. I don't want to fuck you no more. That's what triggers that survival instinct in those women, and they want to start trying to fuck with niggas. That's where you get all these old flabby, crispity, crackety looking fucking Mexican chicks, and white women look like they just beat the hell. Somebody just took a motherfucking Stacey Adams and just beat these bitches all to kingdom come in the face. And then they bring their ass over here. They talk like, hey, black guy. Hey, what you think about rolling over on this? Get the fuck out of here. But a lot of niggas are interested in fucking them sloppy, nasty bitches. First of all, a lot of them bitches didn't do too good with their own men. Okay? A lot of them ugly ass Mexican women and ugly ass white women actually didn't do that good with their own goddamn men. Here they over here. That's why a lot of them get over there and start getting chased by black men, and they just lose their fucking mind because they ain't used to getting that kind of attention from their own men. So you get beat up, ugly, jacked up, fucking Halloween, jack-o'-lantern looking white women and Mexican women who have the nerve to try to come at you like they got a whole bunch of options in men, when we know that not to be the case. Like, bitch, you ain't no player. Fuck out of here. But we are an old country. We are a young country. It's no country for old hoes. We ain't got no place for old hoes. We ain't got no rest haven. America ain't no rest haven for old hoes. Now, we might fuck a recycle hoe here and there, but that's as far as it's gonna go with a nigga that got some resources. But when you start talking about bitches that you got, bitches that ain't all their kids is by somebody in their race, and I'm like, well, all of a sudden you dating black men? Or they always come up with all kind of excuses. Or they will never tell you the real reason. Well, the real reason is because, wasn't because of black dick. It's because it's my social survival. My white men don't want to date me. Seems like every time I send a message to a black man on POF or some old dating site, or I try to, most of them ain't gonna try to approach no black man in public. I'm talking about the ones who are not that attractive. They have never been attractive, even in their youth, they weren't attractive. Usually, the ones that are attractive, and maybe they married a black man at some point. Usually, though, and they look good, even in their late 30s and 40s and early 40s. Those are the ones that might be on some Mandingo shit. That fetish shit. I don't play that shit no more. I didn't mind that shit 4 or 5 years ago. I don't do the Mandingo Chronicles no more. I don't do any of that fetish shit anymore. I don't do any of that. Okay? I don't do fetish. And when I catch on that that's what these women are about, I delete their numbers out of my phone and I don't talk to them ever again. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for no nigga Charlie, nigga Chronicles bullshit. I don't have time for no fetish. I don't have time for that kind of shit. And then, they had a nerve to want to be wined and dined. They had a nerve to want to be wined and dined. I'm like, oh no, I don't do that. I don't wine and dine women. There's no reason for me to wine and dine you. I can get the pussy without it, or I can just walk away. I'm willing to walk away because, again, I don't take women that seriously. That's why I don't put too much effort into meeting women. I meet women all the time. I don't put that. I don't give a shit. Women are not a big deal to me anymore. They ain't no big deal. What's a big deal to me is what I got in the bank. That's what counts. I can give a fuck about these bitches. And I'm saying to you, if all these other races of men are throwing their women away for good reason, first of all, A, they're not very attractive, or their attractiveness has hit, and you know what, it really don't take that many years for a white woman or a Hispanic woman or even an Asian woman to lose ground with their youthful, perky appearance. It don't take much for them to lose, to start losing ground. I've seen pictures of women in 2 or 3 years where they've aged. Look, 2 or 3 years is like aging 10 years, 12, 13 years for them. I've looked at pictures of Hillary Clinton, and in 5 years she looked like she aged 15 years. They just deteriorate fast. They especially, especially white women and Hispanic women, they age like milk. They age like milk. 5 seconds later, after pouring it, the milk's gone bad. Time to pour it out. But we're not a country for old hoes. And that's why I tell black men, hey, look, man, if you have resources, I'm not talking to you. If you want to come up or you have no resources, then here's what you need to do. You need to get you a woman in her late 30s and 40s if you in your 20s. Because they love to give you some pussy, keep the edge off. They want you to concentrate on school or being in the military, and they want to have fun. They might even want you to smoke a little weed with them. That woman is relevant. And that's why a lot of older women fuck with younger men, because they feel relevant. They know a man her age or if they're my age, they know I have no use for them. I'm looking at somebody in their 30s. I ain't looking for somebody in their fucking 40s and 50s. I'll fuck them if they look good, but I ain't chasing them, and I'm not putting all that much work in. I'm not putting that much effort. I'm not going to apply myself all that much with a woman over 40. I'm just not. That's just my choice. So when I get women, whether I meet them in person or where I might meet women on social media, I have a lot of women hit me up on Facebook for some reason. And I be telling them women, hey, I ain't on here trying to meet nobody. And it's usually some old booger wolf. It ain't nobody, because how many good looking women do you know troll around on Facebook looking for good looking men and then friending them up? Now they got this thing where it's called a call app, and they can send messages to you without even being your friend on Facebook. I don't like that shit at all. And the women are always ugly. Or if they cute, they selling something. I'm like, bitch, I ain't selling no goddamn Avon. What the fuck is wrong with you? Tell me, you want to make some extra money? I'm like, bitch, I don't need to make no extra money. Like, well, what do you sell? Oh, we sell this, and that. I'm like, man, I'm not interested. I ain't selling no acai berry juice and shit. I ain't selling. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Well, we got this donkey shit skin cleanser, and we're looking for independent contractors. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. It'll make your skin look beautiful. No, dutiful. Like donkey shit. But the relevance of a woman is tied to her ability to bear children as well as being physically appealing, having sex appeal. And I guess I alluded to that inadvertently, but here we are. Their looks. Now we know damn good and well if you showed me a picture of a woman at 20 and another, especially a non-black woman, you showed me a picture of a non-black woman but at age 20, 30, and 40, I think you were showing me pictures of somebody, three different people. I've seen pictures of white women when they were 20 years old, fine as hell. 10 years in the future, they're 32 and they look like a totally different person. They don't even look like the same person. Talking about transformation. And then 10 more years down the road, they really look fucked up. I'd be like, God damn, this motherfucker look like, a bunch of monkeys just took a shit on her face. The only time you see black women who age like that is if they got some kind of degenerative disease, or they got some, they got horrible life. They got a horrible lifestyle choices. They don't eat right. They don't get no sleep. I've seen black women deteriorate like that. But then I've seen black women who smoked, drank, and shook their ass and didn't age none still. It just depends on that person and their genetic makeup. One of the reasons that women over, when we're talking policy, how policy has been shaped because of this. Feminism makes a whole lot of sense if you have a bunch of women. Feminism makes a lot of sense to shovel that stuff down the throats of women who make good money, have their own money, and are single. It's good to sell that shit to them because online dating makes sense. Online dating is nothing more than a scavenger hunt. It appeals. It used to didn't, but now it is uniquely marketed to the lowest human common denominator type individual, the single mom that has no talent. She's probably a suspected hoe in the past. She possibly could have been a slut and a hoe in years past. That's kind of going to hang over her head for the guy that's the thinking man type of guy, somebody like myself and some of you. I want to know what happened the last 30 years. I don't necessarily want to know details, but I do want to get a sense of what type of person you are, because I'm putting together a profile of you. And if the profile of what I put together of you sucks, then I'm even though I might not like it, I walk away. You start talking about you don't have a job, and you start talking about, how do you make a living? Well, my family helped me out with how, and then I get disability. I guess I get a disability check per month. Well, how much you get of that? $700. That ain't enough to pay no bills. So my family helps me out with the rest of it. So I'm renting out rooms to a couple of my family members. You think I'm gonna date somebody like that? I don't give a damn if that bitch looks like Tracy Edmonds. I don't give a damn if she looked like Babyface ex-wife, Tracy Edmonds. I wouldn't fuck her. I wouldn't fuck with her unless she was just straight up, hey, come over there and hit this. Now, if it was going down like that, oh, it's on. I'm with that. But, if I got to sit up here and, cut her throat open and pour some drinks down her throat and take it on a couple, take her out to dinner about 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 50, 11 times, then if that's what she's expecting, it ain't going down. But when we start talking about the culture of this country, that's a culture. The culture of youth. The culture of don't get old. The culture of stay as young as you can. And if you got the money, get you a plastic surgeon that will cut you up into a corpse that looks 20 years younger. At least. At least can we do that? But we have a culture in this country of youth. It's about youth. It's about being young. People think that calling me names and calling me an old nigga and saying, derogatory stuff to me, that hurts my feelings. You old nigga, old nigga. That shit don't bother me. I'd rather be an old nigga that isn't deteriorating like some of these 50 and cool niggas. Okay, I'd rather look like that than for me to have to look like how some of you are gonna look when you get my age. After all the drinking, smoking, hanging out, and acting like a fucking idiot. That's the way it is, Jack. Deal with it. The problem is, some women have enough sense to say, hey, I'm old, let me just stay in my lane. But unfortunately, with the internet and feminism, women just think they can do anything to their detriment. So you got women who will sit up here and say, you know what, even with plastic surgery, I can still look 20 and I'm 60. And you've seen those types of white women looking like the Crypt Keeper, especially about the neck. But yeah, she walking around with these big, just unhumanly looking softball breasts and a flat ass butt. I know you've seen them type of, and then wearing some tight ass leather pants, tight ass leopard skin leather pants. Look at this bitch. You see them motherfuckers around Texas, around San Antonio, man. You see them mainly out there in California, but you see them up in Vegas. But you see a lot of them in the South Texas too, because it's hot down here. And they all got that burn up, nasty looking, fucking orange, fucking troll looking skin. They call it a tan. I see them motherfuckers all the time, man, down here. Shit tickle me. Shit is funny to me. They don't want to let go of their youth. And their youth has passed them by and long gone. Can't tell them bitches nothing. But you get these bitches who think they can find a second life in dating black men. And like I said, I am ashamed the only way, let me tell you something, whenever I meet women my age and they trying to holler at me, I talk to them like a friend. I'll be like, you know what, maybe we get together, yeah, for a bite to eat. And when I mean a bite, I mean a bite. Especially if you whack. Now, if you paying for it, let me order. But if you think I'm going to be doing it, it ain't going to happen. You get Starbucks. Man, you're going to get your own cup of joe. Ho, for sure. But these women, they got the nerve to be walking around like they got, now you would think that these women would look at the situation and say, look, I ain't supposed to be even dating the way I look, but, some of these black men are still fucking me. Take that and being thankful with it. No, a lot of these bitches get cocky. They're like, oh, let me act like a fucking nigga. Let me act like a goddamn nigga. So you get these women who want to sit up here and act like a fucking idiot. They want to act like a fucking idiot, but then turn around when you show them that, they ain't that important and they're not relevant, then here they want to start kissing ass. I've gotten a lot of pussy that way, where bitches have stepped to me, trying to act like they were all that, and then when I let them know that I didn't give a fuck about fucking them, then here they go handing it to me. You might as well, bitch. You might as well hand it to me. Don't nobody else want it. Not nobody of substance. And the only reason I'm talking to you is you caught me in between fucks. And I'm a little horny. And you don't look too bad. You about a 4. But I still wouldn't take you outside the confines of my home or your home. See, back in my day, we used to call them drive-in bitches. Those are the bitches you take to the drive-in. Nobody's going to see you. Give me some. When you pull in there, we already got our food. Hey, baby, let's go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. This is before KFC. Shit, we used to go get some chicken and then roll up in there. Get a whole bunch of napkins and then roll up in the drive-in. Then when I started dating white girls, we go to the drive-in and eat and fuck. Eat, fuck, and nap. Because you get 3 movies. So the first movie we eating. That movie in. Then, you got about 10, 15 minute intermission. So then what we do is fuck, bust a quick nut in the back of the truck, then get out, go use the bathroom, get back in the car, eat candy. Then after that, after the second movie in, bust another nut. Then the first movie replays as the third movie. Get a nap. Next thing you know, it's time to leave. Boy, I used to love them days, boy. Actually, them days wasn't that long ago. See, I've always been able to find white girls that like to fuck in public. And there's a lot of them out there. Okay? When you date women my age, they ain't trying to get fucked in no car. Okay? They barely want to give up pussy on Saturday night after you done took them out and poured fine drink and food down their damn throat. The bitches, didn't even then you get some old lazy ass fucking fuck. She just laying her sorry ass there, especially when you talking about dating black women. Those sorry motherfuckers. You done spent all the money, and all she gonna do is give you a lazy ass fucking lay. I ain't had too many of them, but it has happened. Them kind of women don't last too long with me. They don't last too long. Yeah, they'll give up the pussy, but, again, pussy might have been good. But pussy might have been okay to good. But still, again, I done have so much of it, ain't no big deal to me no more. Plus, my focus in life ain't partying. That's back in them days when my focus in life was partying. It wasn't taking care of business like I'm doing now. I wasn't even the same person I am today that I was then. But these old women, that's why I tell young guys, go out there and get you, if you're 20, 23, 24 years old, get you a chick in her late 30s. She might even be able to teach you some game. I had some old sisters that I was messing around with when I was 19, 20, 21 years old that taught me a little game. Here, young blood, you do this with a woman. Women love that shit. I got a lot of my game from listening to my mom tell me what to do and what not to do with women. My mom was determined not to have no simps in the house. My mom didn't play that shit. My mom almost beat my ass one time. You don't never buy a woman clothes. You don't never give a woman money. My mom was staunch against that shit. My mom was militant about that kind of shit. My mom was like, you don't be no sucker for no woman. She was like, if you dealing with a woman, no money ought to change hands. If you ain't got no kids with this woman and she ain't your wife, no money should ever change hands. My mom didn't play that simp shit. That trick shit. Trick your money off to get some pussy. My mom didn't play that, dude. My mom didn't play that shit. My dad didn't give a fuck. Plus, my dad was a simp. So what he gonna do? What he gonna teach somebody? He a fucking simp. This is why women are so adamant about youth, but they ought to be more appreciative of it, because especially when you're talking about non-black women, with them aging like milk the way they do, they should be a little bit more appreciative of their youth, because like I said again, when they get 30, they look 50. Sometimes Mexican and Native American women and Asian women look worse than some of these white women. Just they all something they got. Most of them got a flat butt anyway, but then you got somebody who, but you have guys who will be out here with some 40 something. Here they are, maybe they 30 in their 30s. Got some old 30 something Mexican or some old white woman, and his brother's he's wiping this bitch up. He got this bitch. They all up in Chipotle cheesing, acting like every little fucking thing so goddamn delicious. Even the little salt packets and the pepper packets. This motherfucker acting like this the best bitch he ever got with. And you go out there and see what car they getting into. He getting into a fucking Jag. This is a nigga that got money. And he up here tricking off his money and wifing up some old Mexican skank or some white skank who done fucked all their men and now she want to try black men. But a lot of these brothers be going out here hounding these bitches. They want to fuck with some niggas anyway, but they need some encouragement. And let me say this, and this is how you know when this is coming from. You know when you hear stuff like this, non-black women are into brothers and non-black women are into black men. Whenever you hear that, it's usually a simp. It's usually a simp that will say something like that, or a trick, a professional trick. Non-black women, let me say this again so you understand me and hear me clearly. Non-black women are not into black men. They're not into you. Not the way they're into their own men. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. If you're talking, if we're talking about somebody other than the little Mexican chick that's 20 years old that looks good now at 20, and yet the best job she's ever going to have is working at In-N-Out Burger making $10 an hour, you can best believe let's just say we're not even talking about that kind of Mexican that makes that much, that's a kind of a low working income, low middle income earning person. Let's just say we're talking about Mexican women who are college educated, which ain't that many of them. There's more than it used to be, but still ain't that many of them, believe it or not. So, if we're just looking at it from a socioeconomic status thing, and we're talking about Mexican women, there's no way in hell this guy should be dating this woman unless she brings something unique to the table. And I'm not talking about pussy. I talked about this in the Virgin Simp video. If you are a chef and this Mexican chick owns two restaurants, she might be able to help you. Y'all see where I'm going with this? She can help you. I can see that. But if she's just some 30-year-old chick that's a manager at In-N-Out Burger making $14 an hour, and you chasing that, talking about Mexican, non-black women are into brothers, then you're a fucking sucker. And you're probably a simp or a trick. Because again, black men who are educated and have been around the world and have a solid middle class, upper middle class income would never say these women and that women are into brothers, because they've been around the world like I have. And we know that if you travel the world, you know that there's a difference between one respecting you and wanting to marry you and give you some pussy, like you see some women of color do as it relates to, I want to get a white dude. Y'all see Mexicans around here, Mexican women around here, just happy to get any white guy. He could be Paul Wall, Bubba Sparks, just any old droopy draw ass white dude. They ain't making a dime. Family ain't got a fucking quarter. They'll go get a white dude like that and just be happy as a fag with a bag of dicks. Just because he's white. If you've been around the world like I do, like I have, you know that non-black women, that if the only reason why black men, let me explain something to you. Most inexperienced simps and tricks, a lot of these guys who go to these Latin American countries for the first time and buy some pussy, now they done lost their mind, and you hear these guys that's talking shit on Facebook, talking about, oh, I'm about to go out every 2 weeks I go to Colombia. I'm like, so you're wasting, $800, $900 on plane tickets every 2 weeks, and you got to spend money on a hotel. Because let me guess, Juanita will not let you stay with her and her family in the barrio. You got dumb niggas that go over there and try to do that so they can get jacked. A lot of brothers get confused between a fetish and respectability. See, respectability is a non-Caucasian woman wanting a white boy because of it will raise her socioeconomic status, even if he ain't got no money. Because, pale skin is capital in the United States. That's true to a certain degree. Because if that was totally the situation, then Donald Trump wouldn't be president. Donald Trump's presidency is a referendum on the establishment and feminism. And to a certain extent, this LGBT shit. That's what the Trump presidency is a referendum on. If you don't believe me, do your research. Don't mistake somebody wanting black dick, which is somebody who has, because you have to understand, a fetish is a minimizing of a certain group. That's why people don't like it. That's why I'm trying to educate you, so you will not want to hear stuff like, "Ooh, I like the chocolate." That's derogatory. That's derogatory if you're a conscious brother. If you really know who you are as a black man and you got knowledge of self, you would be offended if non-black women referred to you as chocolate or as, "Ooh, I like the brothers." Because it's usually, it ain't going to be no good-looking white girl that got some money who's going to say that. It's going to be some ignorant ass, low-income, usually fat and ugly white girl who will say that in public, thinking it's cute. You get a lot of that up there in Minneapolis. You get these gray girls that think they black, and they start saying shit out in public and damn near get their ass whooped. It is a fetish that they're looking at you. They don't respect you. They're minimizing your blackness as a man and who you are as a man. They're minimizing you down to nothing. All you are is a dick and some balls. That's what you do when you have a fetish for somebody. You minimize that group. You minimize their human importance. So now it doesn't sound so cute when we hear shit like, "Ooh, I like brothers." Hell, I could sit up here and say, "Ooh, I like, black pickup trucks." Don't mean I dislike green pickup trucks. They minimize and they fetishize you, but they don't have any respect for you. Because they don't say, "Ooh, I want a black guy because black guys know how to earn a living." No, they don't say that about black men. What they say, the only time they make references to you is some party shit when they want to party, or when they want to get high, or when they want some black dick. It's some fetish shit or some other. They're using you for some other reason. So when you get to my age in your mid-50s, you don't want to hear nothing about no fetish shit. That's not cute at my age. It shouldn't be cute at any black man's age. Because again, you ought to be insulted when a non-black woman say, "Hey, I like the chocolate," but they don't say, "Hey, I want to marry you," or "I want to build a life with you." They're not interested in any of that. All they want is some black dick, and after they done got tired of your dick, then they move on to the next nigga. If you want to get used like that, go ahead. But in the end, you're going to end up with nothing but memories. Hell, you might not remember those. That's how you know you're being used by these people. That's why I encourage brothers to learn not to. Look, you got to understand something. Let me just say this here. Black women, we're black men, we're all we got. Yeah, you got a lot of black women out here who ain't worth dealing with because they drank the Kool-Aid. They got the welfare, they got the government cheese, or they want to be a feminist, or they want to be LGBTQ, and after they have done all that, then they want to come back to us. Well, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting those black women. But the black women that do have some sense, the very few ones who are attractive, who do take care of themselves, who are ladylike, let's celebrate those sisters. Now the rest of them hoes, fuck them. The rest of them, fuck them. You have to understand, brothers, we all we got. You can sit up here and give me 10 reasons why I should not date black women. You're not going to convince me that's unsustainable. First of all, dating non-black women is unsustainable. Sooner or later, you're going to run into white women who are going to show you that all they want to do is use you. Even if it's just, and usually it's not even for black dick. They just use you to see how thirsty you are. You got white girls who'll sit around and giggle, especially you see a lot of them up there in Minneapolis. Well, they'll sit up there and act like they want to date a black guy, but really all they want to do is spend his money. And you ain't gonna get no pussy out of it. I've never got done like that, but I've heard of that happening. So I make it a point. I've never really chased any women, but I definitely don't make my intentions front and center for white women. They don't deserve to know. They don't deserve to know exactly what my intentions are. So the point that I'm trying to teach you is you need to have a problem with people trivializing and minimizing your human importance. Because if all you are is a hard dick, a big dick, and somebody to have a good time with. Because I remember I asked a couple white girls, what is it about black guys? You like, oh, black guys are a lot of fun. Black guys are this, black guys, they're better in sex. And I'm just like, you naming all this stereotype shit. Now, true, I might have been laying some serious pipe over there. And yeah, I probably, if it was, we talking about a few years ago, yeah, I was a lot of fun. But at some point, I had to grow up and realize that I wasn't leading anybody. So to get off the whole premise of it's okay for women to want to use you for sex. Well, like I said again, it may not dawn on you until you learn your place and you find purpose in life. You're not going to find that being insulting until that time. Right now, you haven't found out your purpose. Once you find purpose in life, you take people, you want to be taken seriously. You want people to look at you as a serious person. But you have to understand the persona of the black man that's created for American society is that of a buffoon and a clown, an ass kisser, and a follower. So don't be surprised when you get minimized and trivialized and reduced down to nothing but a dick and balls. These women don't want to have no kid with you. These women don't want to marry you. They don't want to look in your eyes and believe in you as a man. All they want is a cock. And they won't even let you, they won't even introduce your sorry, non-relevant ass to their family or even their friends. But they might sniggle every now and then to their girlfriend, I'm getting some black dick. Oh, girl, when are we going to meet him? No, I don't want you to meet him. He's a low-income guy. That doesn't stop those kinds of white women from trying to date somebody on their level like I am, with the same educational level. They really don't want to be with a man like me because they know I'm going to require what? Respect. They know if all they want from you is dick, they don't have to respect you. They don't have to respect you. You're just dick. And only an idiot or a simp or a trick would be happy with that classification. Not a grown ass black man, not a real black man is gonna sit there and not be insulted by that kind of talk. We're gonna be insulted because we want something you know nothing about, and that's respect. You young brothers don't think respect is a big deal. You think respect is somebody talking about how fly your new Air Jordans are or some other brand new tennis shoes you got on. You think that's respect. Respect is what people think of you as a human being and as a person. And if you're okay with being reduced down to nothing, because that's what a dick and balls are, nothing is nothing. If you want to be reduced down to that, then this is one of the reasons why you're not taken seriously in this country. And why I struggle in American society so much, because, well, sometimes not so much, but sometimes, is because I get white people who don't take me seriously. And when they see that they have to take me seriously, then there's a problem, because they've never respected any black man or woman. So you need to, you need to be, you need to demand your respect. You need to demand respect. You need to demand respect. But you have to understand this. The dynamics of dating are getting ready to change again. They're going to change a little. The pendulum's going to swing toward us a little bit, because you have to understand about the dynamics of dating. The dynamics of dating are tied toward how much money women make. If you notice, during the years when money gets scant, money gets scarce, and women start losing money, you notice during those years things go back toward traditional dating as it was 30 and 40 years ago and beyond. You notice that? You notice these trends? Well, if you look at the research like I do, you see that. Now, during the time that we have a Democratic president and the economics swing more toward helping women, women get out of control. Women get out of control. Black women were more in check during the Reagan era than they were during the time Clinton was in there, or even Bush Jr. was in there. These women weren't running around like they lost their fucking mind during the Reagan era. That was my era. They didn't run around acting a fucking fool back then. When all that shit with weaves and all that old silly ass shit. That's what happens when you let women lead their own lives. They lose their fucking minds. Women getting ready to lose money, especially with this next tax season. Not this season, but next tax season. Shit's about to change. Tax code for next year, for 2018, oh, it's going to hit them women in the pocket. Because Trump is getting ready to lower taxes for corporations, and he's getting ready to raise taxes, some upper income people, but mainly he's going to tax the shit out of the middle class and the low income class. And most women in America fall between poverty class and lower middle class, which is working class. That's a little bit above the working poor. These are the women who have secretary jobs. Yeah, I said it. Secretary jobs. These are women that, they're making about 40 a year, 50 a year. That's those women. What do you think? Just tweaking the tax code fucks with women's money. Okay? Just them fucking with the tax code is going to take money out these women's pockets, which does what? Make women panic. That's why you see a lot of these bitches out here working 2 jobs. Some of these women don't even need to work 2 jobs, but they work 2 jobs because their their spending is all fucked up. Instead of tightening their budget and saving money and being thrifty, they going out here getting a new car every 2 years, blowing the child support check every month, fucking that off, fucking that money up. Okay? Fucking that money up. But they done got sloppy. Couldn't put in that double earned income credit back during his presidency, and George Bush let it just go on through, and then Obama sent it right past through his tenure in the White House. But Trump already said through his spokesman that the tax code is getting ready to change, and that the middle class are gonna foot the bill on a lot of these programs. The first program he needs money for is that wall. That wall. Because you don't want to take the money out the present budget. That money's not there. That's going to take money from somewhere else. Although they could take some money out the defense budget, because 59% of your taxes paid goes to that one agency. You don't believe me? Look at your goddamn look at your W-2s. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not going to be on your W-2. Look at the go online, and I think there's a Congressional Budget Office, and go in there and put in their DOD's budget compared to all the other, with the exception of the Department of Treasury, because that's where that's where the monarchies and the folks that own the Federal Reserve Bank, that's where they get their money off the top. Okay? Internal Revenue, the IRS, falls under the Department of Commerce. So that sub-agency, Department of Treasury, wait a minute, Treasury Secretary. The Treasury Secretary, that used to be I'm sorry, I got confused. I'm sorry. IRS is a sub-agency of the Department of the Treasury. But the Internal Revenue is their job to bring in revenue, federal taxes. What they're not telling you is that it's designed to pay an inflationary amount of interest that's already that's not even in your Constitution. But yet that money is being taken out of your check, and it's paying down on a debt that wasn't designed to be paid in the first place. Because that's the money that all the bankers, the people who own our international banking system and the monarchies, particularly the UK monarchy, they are the main ones who benefit from the Federal Reserve Bank. That's automatic billions and trillions of dollars that's sucked out of this country before it's even accounted for. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, that's a crime. If I'm not mistaken, that's a crime. That's money laundering. But you already knew that. Anyway, whenever they fuck with women's money, it's a known fact. Whenever they fuck with women's money in this country, women tend, and there are no government services to make up the difference or the shortfall of money. And there's no more child support money to be had. It forces women to do what? Depend on the men. Find a man to depend on. Now I know you're thinking, how does any of this social behavior, social psychology have to do with economics and dating? How do those two correlate? It's easy. If somebody fucks with your money and you're considered a vulnerable class of people in this country, and you can't go to Uncle Sam to get help, who are you going to go get help from? Another man. This is what's going to leave black women this is what's going to leave them out on the dance floor without a dance party. Because they done ran all these black men off. So you have to say to yourself, if things aren't that great between black men and black women as they are, and they have to depend on us, what do you think is going to happen? Because swirling ain't going to work. Swirling ain't working. You got to understand, white people get real tribal when we have a conservative president. White people get real tribal in this country. That swirling shit wasn't going on under George Bush. That swirling was not happening. That's been an Obama trick. That swirling. Black women fooling themselves into thinking they can have the same life that white women have by getting with white men. That's been a false ideology that black women have adopted under Obama. That ain't happened under nobody else. Everybody's going to have to depend on their men. White women are going to have to depend on white men. Hispanic women are going to have to depend on Hispanic women. Black women are going to have to make peace with black men. I'm not saying this is absolute, guys. What I'm saying is the research that's where it's pointing. That's the direction it's pointing me in. The fact that when money gets tight, it's always, and this is coming out of textbooks, by the way. This ain't my opinion. Whenever the country has to tighten its belt under a conservative president and when programs that help women get defunded, okay, which a lot of this battered women shit, a lot of these little federal grants they've been getting under Obama, a lot of that's gonna get cut under Trump. Women are gonna have to go to their men. So you have to understand, Hispanic women depend on Hispanic men for their paycheck. That's why they don't disrespect their men like that. White women can sit up and talk all that feminist shit all they want, but at the end of the day, they're not bad-mouthing white men. The only ones dumb enough to do that is black women. Because black women don't have to depend on you to butter their bread and pay their rent. They can go down there to Mr. Charlie. And they get a big ass huge food stamp that looks like one of them big fake lottery checks. They get a Section 8. They get free rent. They get free medical care in exchange for their dignity. You have to understand, the kind of woman that will go get welfare is the kind of woman that has no dignity. Because a woman with dignity would be like, look, I need to work shit out with my husband and make sure that we on the same team. Because it doesn't work to have warring factions in the same goddamn house. One kid is kissing their mama's ass, so they walk around the house not speaking to their daddy, and then the other kid is siding with the daddy. No. Don't tolerate that kind of shit in your house. If you can't have a woman in your house that's on the same team you on, you don't have a house or have a house that's just with you in it. I don't tolerate that shit. I don't tolerate no woman having no fucked up attitude in the house. I don't tolerate that shit. I don't tolerate that shit. When my ex-wife used to walk around that motherfucker around my house trying to ignore me, talking about I ain't gonna say nothing to you type shit, I made her life a living hell. To the point where she was ready to go get a hotel room. I pissed her ass off so much. Found she had to deal with me. Because again, I'm the man. Now, you might not be the man of your house, but in my house, I'm the goddamn man. So for black men to sit here and take bottom of the barrel, bottom of the basement, women, black women or women, women of the same race, whether it's black women or not. That shit don't make, that shit is wrong, man. That shit is wrong. That shit is wrong. That shit is fucking wrong. I was looking at what's his name? TD Jakes, TD Fakes. I was looking at TD Jakes' show, and he had Cheryl Underwood on there. And I guess he's trying to help Cheryl Underwood find love. Anyway, they had her go out on some dates. And, you know, I don't support TD Jakes' ministry as far as like his church and all that shit. The one thing I do support of him is his books and his knowledge of dating. And he said something to Cheryl Underwood that really got my attention. And this is one of the reasons why most women, and when I told you I was going to talk about popularity as it relates to men and women, see, women want to be popular. Now you got men who want to be popular. And that's why you can't never expect a woman to stand for anything. That's our job. And he said something that really got my attention. And he said that men, he said, Cheryl, he said he was trying, I guess he was talking to all the women in the audience too, because he was turned toward them. I had it muted because I was on the phone, I think, that day. And he said something that really got my attention. And he said, ladies, a man has to know that he's in the running to be your man. A man that brings resources and who is successful, that man is not going to stick around. And that's why I be telling y'all when I meet women, if I meet a woman and she's on her phone too much, or she don't have enough respect for me to turn her phone off, and we trying to sit there and have a date, or even if we're just at that stage where we're at Starbucks, I tell them straight up, hey man, I think I'm respectful enough where I feel like, you know, you need to turn your phone off. My phones are both my phones are off. Why can't you got one phone and you act like you can't even turn your goddamn phone off? I'm like that shit pisses me off. I get nasty with that type of shit. Well, let's just say I used to. After a while, I just get up and walk away. And they be like, well, why are you leaving? I said, I'm not going to compete with your phone. Okay, I'll just turn my phone off. I'm like, black, that's an all race thing, but black women have that bad, especially if they think they're attractive. Because I say something to them, I say, I can't really hear you. I said, your phone is getting more attention than I am. Do you want me to leave? You want us to reschedule? Or because I'm thinking to myself, I don't ever want to hear from this bitch again. So I'm gonna make her think I'm gonna reschedule. I'm not rescheduling shit. I'm gonna delete that bitch's phone. I'm just not gonna answer whenever she sends me a text message or she tries to call me. Anyway, again, I want my respect. Do you? Maybe you don't. Maybe you think having dignity and respect and being respected by others is not important. I see. I mean, that's okay. If that's how you think, that's okay. All I'm saying is, for me, you gotta respect me, or we're not gonna have any dealings. I'm not gonna deal with somebody who don't respect me. So you get these women who want to sit up there and play like that. But this is why women on online were doing that online dating shit with, because it's really ain't nothing but a popularity contest. Half the women on there really ain't trying to seriously meet anybody. They ain't trying to meet nobody. They're just on there getting their egos expanded. Ooh, look at all these guys sending me messages. But you talk to some of the real bitches on online dating and they'll tell you, oh, 99% of the men on there ain't even real. I don't think these guys are real because a lot of them won't even exchange phone numbers with you. I say, yeah, because they're married or they're living with somebody. Them stupid motherfuckers, a lot of them guys are just catfishing. They using other niggas' pictures. But whenever you go on little stupid sites like POF and you got women on there that got more than one profile, they ain't doing nothing but playing. They ain't on there. They ain't doing nothing but playing. They ain't trying to meet nobody. Them little nasty hoes ain't trying to meet nobody. First of all, a lot of them women got a bunch of kids and they all they do is work anyway. Them women ain't serious about meeting nobody. It's like a lot of them dudes ain't trying to meet nobody. 90% of the people on online dating sites and on social media sites are a bunch of idiots who don't even live the way they claim they living on their fucking webpage. They ain't living that kind of lifestyle. but they'll make you think they are. Some of them people will even come on there, some of them bitches will even come on there and lie and say, oh, I've been to Rome and I've been to this place. It ain't been nowhere. And even the ones that have been to those places, I still say, so? I've been to those places too. I don't even tell bitches I've been to Brazil. Because as soon as I say I've been to Brazil, the first thing they say is, well, I guess you wouldn't want me, huh? I get a lot of that. Whenever I meet women, especially women in Minneapolis, in the Twin Cities, if they over 40, first thing they say is, those women are beautiful. You're probably going to wonder why you're with me. And I'm thinking to myself, shit, I'm wondering why, you're right, I'm wondering why I'm with you. I'm wondering why I'm listening to you. Because most of the time, them women, those are just somebody, that's just somebody I'm just trying to fuck. It ain't somebody I got respect for. But black men have gotten into the habit of wanting to be popular rather than respected. Okay? When you do that, that makes you a simp or a trick or both. That makes you a simp or a trick or both. Because that means you're ass kissing. If you don't care anything about dignity and respect, you're ass kissing. And if you're ass kissing, that means you're probably a simp or a trick. But what T.D. Jakes said to Cheryl Underwood made a lot of sense. Ain't no man gonna hang around long enough. Ain't no real man with real resources that really got it popping gonna hang around long enough. They're not gonna hang around, ladies. So when you meet men and the guy seems like he legit and you go out a couple of times and next thing you know he just disappears and you don't hear from his ass no more, that's because he done found out something about you that he don't like. Her phone was ringing at 3 o'clock in the morning when I spent the night. The vagina stunk when we had sex. Men ain't gonna tell you this stuff, ladies. We're not gonna tell you this stuff. But we'll talk about it amongst ourselves with other women. With other men, excuse me, not men, other women. We'll talk about this stuff with other men. We'll talk about this shit with like-minded men. But we won't say nothing to you. We ain't gonna say a motherfucking thing to you. We ain't gonna say shit to you. And what do most women say, especially black women, what do most women say whenever men walk away? I tell you what they say. Oh, he couldn't handle a real woman. He couldn't handle a real woman, so he bounced. A lot of black women say that kind of shit. I was too much of a woman for the Iceman, that's why he bounced. No, the Iceman bounced because your breath stunk. Your breath smelled like coyote shit. That's why the Iceman bounced. Okay? That's why the Iceman bounced, bitch. Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes. Oh yeah, man. Somebody light some incense up in there. Okay? We ain't gonna tell you. We just gonna cut all communication. And so what a lot of women like to was the defense mechanism. You like to rationalize. Well, he just couldn't handle a real woman. That's why he bounced. A lot of times we bounce, ladies, because you're too much trouble for the amount of nothing you bring to the table. If all you are is a mouth, a pussy, and a booty hole to us, and then we get with you and find out you got bad hygiene or you curse too much, you don't know how to act civilized in public, you got too many kids, you can't cook, you got a bad fucking attitude 99.9% of the time. When faced with that situation on all you happen to be is a mouth, a pussy, and an asshole, and a doo-doo hole, then we say it ain't worth us hanging around. Because all you worth are them 3 little holes you got in your body. That's the only reason why I was even talking to you in the first place. And after I got to know you, I realized you didn't have you were uncouth. You were ignorant. You didn't know how to string complete sentences together. You ghetto as hell. You got too many people calling you every 5 minutes. Girl, we at the movie. I can't talk to you right now. You ain't never got no money. You always talking about you need money. You always talking about you broke. So after we got the sex, or even if we didn't get the sex, we're realizing that all you are is a 3-hole wonder. And them 3 holes ain't enough to keep us around. It ain't enough to keep a man around because you're going to put your mouth, you telling him you're going to put your mouth on him and he's going to get some of that pussy. That's not enough, ladies. That's not enough to keep men around. Not anymore. See, after you run out of simps, after all the simps, see, you have to understand about something. Every woman is only allowed a certain number of simps. Most women run through all their simps. Most women don't hold on to their simps because they're so arrogant and so cocky. They figure, and so egotistical, they figure, it's going to keep raining simps and tricks. Well, some women, especially women who are fat or women who aren't that attractive to begin with, these women are smart enough not to do that. And they say, I'm going to cherish every simp I get. Because I know it's only going to be a certain number of them. Okay? So some women are not dumb enough to run through all their simps. It's like playing Super Mario Brothers. You only get 3 men. You run through your 3 men, you fucked up in the game. It's game over. It's game over. It's a wrap. The game don't start over because you done ran out of men. You killed all 3 of your men, your extra men, because you got your man that you start off the game with, and you got 3 more men. At least that's how the first Mario Brothers, the first one that came out with with Tecmo Bowl and all that shit on Nintendo. I still got mine. I still got my original Nintendo. Still work too. Okay? Motherfuckers still work. I'm like, God damn. Still light up. I still got that motherfucker, man. That shit be cracking me the fuck up. Anyway, you got 3 extra men. Your men get fucked up. You got your opponent wins. Now you can reset the game, but you gotta lose first. See, most women don't understand that, so they keep fucking up, and then they get in their 40s and their 50s, and they realize then maybe they fooled a couple of people on plentyoffish.com. Maybe they fooled a couple of people on Match. Now they done ran out of, because the same dudes on every site in their city. They ain't get ready to move to another city just to start dating new motherfuckers on POF. So they know they doomed. That's why I be like, how is it that these bitches stay on these fucking sites for 7, 8, 9, 10 years? It's women I've seen on POF that was on there since 2009 that are still on there today. You know those women got there's a serious character defect for a woman who's still on POF longer than a few months. I usually be on there for about 2 or 3 months, get tired of it, get off. Maybe take another year, 2 years, and not get on there. Because it's because every year it gets shittier and shittier. Used to be I could come on there and in 2 or 3 days I got a new bitch over at the house. That's how it used to be 4 or 5 years ago. Ain't that way now. It didn't take me that long to get a bitch over here if I was using that service. Now you go on there and you liable not to even meet anybody. You get tired. There's the same bitches on there. And at least some of the women who know that they've been on there longer than 2 or 3 years, they at least they have enough respect for themselves not to even click on your page because they know you know who they are. I'm like, I already met you. Who are you? I already met you on here. Well, when was that? That was 3 or 4 years ago. And she wasn't shit then. Told you I was on Match last year. I did an experiment for 3 months. $79. It was a total waste of time. Because the higher you go on its socioeconomics class, the higher you go, especially when you're talking about because mostly you go on websites like Match.com, it's gonna be mainly a lot of white women on there. Ain't gonna be that many black women on there. Black women tend to be on sites like POF, lower socioeconomic type shit. Lower all of them cater to the lowest human denominator. All of them cater to that because what is a motherfucker that want to be popular over 18, 19 years old? Something's wrong with you. You're a narcissist, and there's something wrong with you whether you're a man or male or female if you got the kind of time above 25 years, 26, 27 years old, and you're supposed to be working at 40 hours a week and having a life. It says a lot about your character that you are on a dating website trying to be popular over the age of 28, 29 years old. Something's wrong with you. That's when you start talking about somebody's narcissism because you know they're only doing it to get attention. That's what I be telling when niggas be talking about online, how come online dating doesn't work, and I'm like, it ain't supposed to work. It wasn't designed to work. It's designed to make people. It's designed for a popularity contest, and for women to think they got a whole bunch of options when they don't. That's what online dating is for. Online dating is really for the women. Because if men could get away with not paying, they would. You go on POF and look at how many profiles are upgraded members, which means they are paid. They are dumb enough to pay for that sorry ass site. But you get extra benefits if you pay. Nah, no you don't. Because if you an ugly bitch, it ain't gonna improve your chances. But that's what they fool women into thinking. Oh, your ugly, flabby 40-year-old ass, your titties are sagging to the point where they hitting your kneecaps, or they hitting your shins, and you think because you paying $20 a month to be an upgraded member on plentyoffish.com that you gonna get some more men. You gonna improve your chances of getting a man. Some old homely looking chick with a fucking jerry curl. I done seen black women on there for San Antonio that got motherfucking jerry curls. Okay? Motherfucking jerry curls. Who's gonna date that homely bitch? See, y'all gotta look at shit as it is. Don't listen to what motherfuckers say. Look at what they do. See, I do a lot of research on online dating. And the thing that they try to pull off, because they really ain't they don't market online dating to men. They market themselves to women. Because if they make women go and sign up for that site, that's going to be their core audience. That's going to be their core customer. Not no men. If men, look at it like this. If men had to, even gay men had to pay to find somebody to date, how much money you think you going to make off some gay men and some heterosexual men? You ain't going to make that much money off neither one of them groups. Because men, typically research says that men don't pay for something without a reward. That's why men are not too many men are going to do online dating. Because they know after a while they can only lie so much about not being married. They can only lie so much about not living with a woman. They living with their baby mama. They know sooner or later when this woman starts demanding more of his time, what's going to happen? He's going to have to show up because she's going to test him. She's going to be like, look, it seems like every day at 7 o'clock p.m., you go offline. You're not on Black Planet or whatever it is that they're on. You're never online after 7 p.m. When I call your phone, you never answer after, it's always cut off. Your phone is always off. What do you think that woman's going to do if she's madly in love with you? If she's in the same city you live in, you know what she's going to do? She's going to take your name and she's going to pay $5 or $10 or $15 and she's going to try to find where you live. She's probably going to try Facebook first and find you on there if you guys haven't already friended each other up. I'm going to talk about that in my new book, The Dating Bible. That's just one thing. That's one thing you do not do is friend each other up on Facebook. That's why I don't like meeting women on Facebook, because these women got my name. I can't tell them my name is Fred, and they already see my fucking name. Plus, I got all these fraternity brothers that are their friends and all that old kind of shit. Some who know me personally. Some of my fraternity brothers know me personally. So, I'm going to talk about that in the Dating Bible, why what the detriment is and why you should keep your Facebook life separate from your dating life. Okay, I'm going to get into that. This is going to be a whole chapter dedicated to that because a lot of guys don't understand proper etiquette. If you want to keep a bitch out of your business, don't have her as a friend on Facebook. Especially if you're on Facebook all day long like some of you niggas are. You don't want to be, that bitch gonna know your every move. Every time you go somewhere, when you go to the movies, it's gonna say, John Ross is at the Palladium 6 movie theater. And then she gonna be like, your girlfriend gonna be like, wait a minute here. You told me you was gonna be at home. I looked on Facebook and you at the Palladium 6 movie theater. What you doing at the movie theater hugged up with some tramp? Now you like, oh baby, you don't know what you talking about. What you talking about? You don't say shit. But see, if you got that Facebook app on your phone, it's gonna if you depending on you got to go in the pro. I think you got to set this in under settings. It'll put on there that you're at so and so. Believe me, I know. I've been on a road trip and checked Facebook, and it's got me at some old restaurant. And I'm like, I wasn't at that restaurant. I was at but what it was is I was at the gas station that's attached to that restaurant. They don't show the gas station, they show the restaurant. And it says the Iceman is at so-and-so in such and such town, in such and such state. And I'm like, that's not good. Because I don't want all these people I don't even know to know where the fuck I am. They could be, dispatching motherfuckers to my house. I don't want none of that shit to pop off. So that's not good for somebody to be your friend on Facebook or any of these dating apps or these dating sites. You don't want them knowing that kind of information unless is there some kind of proprietary benefit that you're gonna get out of it. Because if you don't own a business, there's really no reason for you to be letting people know where the fuck you at. I done heard people getting shot because people knew where they were based on Facebook. Or they found where motherfuckers lived at because of Facebook. Because these little young niggas, they just do stuff. They don't think. Man, people could be tracking my movement. That's why whenever Facebook, if I'm on the road and Facebook asks to ask for my location, I put on there no. I don't want you telling everybody what my location is. Even sometimes when I'm home, I don't want people to know what my location is. There's some fools out here, man. But they have fooled these women into thinking that online dating gives them an advantage over men or other women. It helps them be competitive. Let me tell you what online dating is for. Online dating is for the unhot. That's what online dating is. Because 99% of the women on, I don't care whether it's OkCupid, Zeus, Match.com. Match.com probably got a better crop of women as far as class and looks to a certain degree, but I mean Match and POF is the same people now. So Match Group bought Plenty of Fish about 2 or 3 months ago. I didn't know they were for sale. But Plenty of Fish has already got more and more fucked up as the years pass. it's going to be even worse now that Max got a hold to it. Because at least you can use POF for free. You don't have to sign up for, you don't have to pay nothing. But if Match.com is dumb enough to turn them into a full pay site, they're going to lose a lot of men. Because everybody, is a running joke amongst men all over the country that Plenty of Fish is most of the women on there are average looking or below average looking. There ain't that many good looking women on there. And the ones that are good looking are on there, you might want to ask why they're on there. But what online dating has done, what they've seen over the years, is that pretty women get off them sites. Pretty women that have something to offer, that have class, they don't get on those sites. The only women who get on those sites are ugly women, fat women, and decent looking women that are just hoes and sluts. They ain't got nothing to offer but a soggy hole for you to slop around in. But 50 other niggas already done slopped around in that pussy already. That's what Plenty of Face, that's their core customer. Their core customer is the unhigh. Ugly bitches or average looking bitches or below average looking bitches. That's what their website is for. That's what all those websites are for. Because they realize that pretty women don't stay on them sites. They don't have to. Or pretty women that have something to offer, they don't stay on them sites. So the only women that are left are good looking women who aren't worth shit, and ugly and average looking women and ugly women. And the one recurring thing that all these women have in common with being on online dating sites, they do not manage their lives very well. I noticed that's a recurring theme no matter how they look. They don't know how to manage their lives. I'm not talking about somebody having 2 jobs. These women have 1 job and they're still unorganized. So you have to ask yourself, what's wrong with the American woman? The American woman sold herself out. She drank her own Kool-Aid. She started believing that because of feminism, she was more important than the woman she was. When they fool women into thinking that if they left the home and they made their own money and they did their own thing and they cursed their man, that they would get 72 virgins. No, that they would live a life more abundant and more meaningful. Hell, you got women who make $1 million a year who say they wish they were able to stay home. You don't believe me? I heard this on NPR when I was living here the last time. They said career women with at least a bachelor's degree working in corporate America, some of them made over $1 million a year, and they still wish they were at home. They wish they were at home. Because working is not really in a woman's wheelhouse. Although that doesn't mean that a woman can't learn to like to work. Usually women like work that they want to do and that they can quit at a moment's notice. Those are the kind of jobs women want. Anything they gotta keep, they don't like. But they love jobs that are only part-time and jobs they can just leave. Oh, my husband makes enough. I'm just working just to get out of the home. That's a job she can quit. But yes, she talking about how much she loved reading the blind kids. Okay, but what if she had to read the blind kids 8 hours a day, 7 days or 6 days a week? And by the way, her husband ain't making enough, but her working makes what he makes enough. All of a sudden, she don't like reading the blind kids. I don't really like this job. I'm looking for something else. You better listen to what these women tell you, because they actually tell on themselves. If you really know how to listen for certain things they come out of women's mouths, if you really listen to what comes out of their mouth, you will learn that they tell on themselves. Even the smartest of the smart, they tell on themselves. Sooner or later, they're going to tell on themselves. But these people, these master manipulators, they figured out their core customers, these ugly bitches. And these below average looking and average looking bitches. That's their core customer, because those bitches they're gonna either be in two groups. They're gonna be attention whores, and they're gonna get attention that they normally wouldn't get in real time and in real life. They get that group, and then they get the other side of the house who gets dates because they're on an online dating site, and you got a lot of thirsty simps and tricks on there. So they get one or the other. So they make money off either or. They make money off both. They make money off women who really ain't serious about meeting something. They just like the attention and the ego boost that they get from being on there. They get money off of them women because they keep paying their subscription dues, or they make money off women who are actually getting dates. Because you have to understand something: men will talk to women on an online dating site that they wouldn't talk to if they were sitting there at a bar. If you walked in and 99.9% of the women that are on POF.com was sitting in the bar you're in, you'd walk right past those ugly bitches or those homely bitches, and you wouldn't say a word to any of them. And they know that. So they tell these bitches, oh, you need us. More marriages and long-term committed relationships are created on our site, start on our site. And then you go on there and find even for a woman, that ain't true. I was on Match.com for 3 months, and it was a total waste of my fucking time. But yet they are on TV bragging about they create more marriages than any other online dating site. Hell, they own 5 or 6 different dating sites. They're the biggest online dating parent company to any other goddamn company. Fuck are they talking about? The only other big sites are eHarmony and some other site. Some of these other ones are owned by Match Group. Match Group done gobbled I don't know how many dating websites. A lot of these dating websites were their own entity up until about 3 or 4 years ago, and then Match Group went out there and started buying up all of them. OkCupid, Military Cupid, all those websites were under smaller companies. And then they came along, got bought out by Match Group. Just like POF did. They sold out. Match Group is almost a $1 billion company. Because not only do they own online dating media, they own other stuff, other online types of businesses. They're not just into dating. They bought a lot of other different companies. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, believe it or not, because they own internet. They own intellectual properties that are global. They're a global brand, and they have investment in other types of online media. So all their eggs are not in the dating media basket. But that's a large part of it, especially with them obtaining the company that owns Plenty of Fish, the Canadian company that owns Plenty of Fish. Online dating sites will continue to be successful. They will continue to make billions. Does that mean they're going to bring people closer together? No. Online dating only really means anything if you can make long-lasting friends. I've met women on Black Planet that I've known for almost 16, 17 years that I met on Black Planet. That's how I met them. We were supposed to date, but we never hooked up. Or maybe we met and just, I was fucking so many women back then, it was no big deal if I had a woman for a female woman for a female friend. Some of the women I just fucked, but now they're just friends of mine. That's how it worked out. But I met a lot of women off Black Planet. And I've also fucked a lot of women off Black Planet. All over the country. Not ashamed to tell you that I did. I don't care, one way or the other. But the one thing that I'm trying to explain to you is that and I'm going to get into that in my new book, The Dating Bible, Maconomics 101. I'm going to explain how the masters of manipulation sell online dating to people that it's not supposed to even work for. You have to be aesthetically pleasing to the other person's eyes in order for you to be successful. So if you got a bunch of ugly women, a bunch of homely, average, and below average looking women on there, because sooner or later, even if these women put a bunch of makeup on and make themselves look good, you're going to meet them sooner or later in real time. And you're going to be like, damn, this bitch is ugly. This bitch look like Booger Wolf. I'm not trying to be seen in public with this bitch. That shit has happened to me. I've met women online. This is like 12, 13 years ago. I've met women, back when, it was popular, but it wasn't popular. I've met women back then who look good on their picture, then you meet them in real life. They bigger than they were. Their face look different. They the same people, but that was a 20-year-old photo. That was when they started doing that type of shit back then. See, they weren't just all out catfishing back then as much as they do now. Now they just totally just steal another nigga's picture and put it on there. Be like, yeah, this is me. I've seen niggas go and get recording artists pictures and catfish somebody. I'm like, how the fuck do you not know that this is such and such? This nigga got platinum albums all over the fucking place. And this bitch not know that this motherfucker, because sometimes I used to look at catfish on MTV. Back like the first season. Now it ain't even some of that shit look like they be making that shit up. Some of that shit be looking staged. The first season was real. Cause some of them, because I noticed over like the last couple years, the people on there be, like I seen this one dude, he thought he was talking to this fine ass sister that lived about 400 miles away. And come to find out it was a dude, a fag. It was this fag who was playing this catfishing this dude with this chick's picture. And come to find out this chick is a stripper or some kind of dancer or something. She had all these sexy pictures of her and all this stuff. This dude got catfished. And the catfish guys went and met him. Then they went and met the dude and it was some old real fat, real dark skinned dude, looked all crazy, and the guy goes to meet who he thinks is a chick, and it ends up being a dude, a big old fat ass, sugar booty ass nigga. And this nigga don't get mad. First they had him get mad, and then he was talking shit and stomping and all this shit, and then finally he got to talking to this motherfucker again on Facebook, and they became friends. Then they showed the catfish guys taking the fag to go see the dude, and now and he said, well, I thought you was good looking. I was thinking about, I really wanted to meet you, and I really wanted to holler at you, but I didn't know whether or not, you were homosexual and all that stuff. And then the dude is like, well, I think, let's just be friends, and let's just think about, let's just be friends for right now, and we'll see where it goes. I'm looking at this shit. It wasn't nothing moist about this dude, nothing. And I was sitting there thinking, this is some staged bullshit. Cause ain't no way no dude worth his salt, no heterosexual dude worth his salt, gonna sit up here and get catfished by a dude and he not whoop his ass. He didn't jump on the dude or nothing. He just was doing a lot of yelling, and he was like, I don't want to see you, I don't want to talk to that motherfucker, let's go. He got in the car, was in the car crying. Now that made him look moist, because he was crying, talking about, I thought she was for real, and that is old motherfucking ugly ass dude. And I was like, but then at the end of the show, he talking about they could be friends and see where it go from there. I was like, nah, that was some old Hollywood shit. That shit was staged. And I've seen a couple other ones that was like that, where somebody was pretending to be another gender and ended up getting found out that, this person's the same gender. Okay? Women who were heterosexual and other men who were heterosexual, that all of a sudden at the end of the show, if they black, they happen to, be interested in having a friendship and possibly more. And yet it didn't start that way at the beginning of the show. So you're trying to show, look at these confused niggas. Niggas don't know what they want. No, that's white behavior. We copying it. After I saw a couple of shows that ended like that, I was like, I'm not watching this show no more, because they done got fake. People start watching the show and then they start, manufacturing shit. The first season was the only real season. After that, they just been making this shit up. I stopped looking at it after that, because people would send me emails that listen to the show and like, hey, Iceman, did you see Catfish on MTV? You see that show with that gay dude? And I'm just like, dude, I don't watch it no more. I had no reason to watch it. They ruined the show when they start making it fake. Look, let me explain something to you. Every woman, especially non-black women, the older they get and the less successful the men get, after a while they get desperate. And yeah, they might need a couple of more guys to go before they get desperate, and maybe they don't look like they're going to get desperate on your watch. But sooner or later they're going to get desperate, because you have to understand something. The worst kind of pussy is the pussy you can't give away. And based on the way a lot of these non-black women look when they get above 40, that's how they feel. Because I talk to them. Because a lot of times, I'm not just, sliding some dick up in these holes. I'm talking to them and getting in their head. Especially since I went through that MSW program 3 years ago. I be getting in bitches' head because I want to find out what their psyche is. Because I want to know how they think. And because you have to understand something. I stopped listening to what women say a long time ago, other than for, analysis purposes. I don't really listen to what women say because everything that comes out of women's mouths is damn near a lie, if not a lie. Because that's the kind of culture most of them get raised in, where they got some old desperate single mom. Their mama's a single mom. They've grown up in in dire straits, even if maybe maybe financially it wasn't, or economically it wasn't, but financially it was. It seemed like there was never enough money. Why? Well, because a fractured, what they call a fractured family unit, takes resources away from the main breadwinner. But when you take two breadwinners and put them in the same house, and they try to make that situation work, that's what they call a family unit. A fractured family unit is what we call a single parent household. That's not considered a family. If you look at the federal guidelines and explanation and definition of a single female-headed household, single female or single parent household, they tell you that's not a family. They don't consider a family with just a man and kids or women and kids as a household. They don't count that as a family. You don't believe me? Look the shit up. Why else are they giving you benefits if you are the custodial parent? Why are they giving you welfare benefits? They're giving it to you to make up for the breadwinner who's not there. Because the way they factor it, the woman always makes less money. That's why when these women sit up here and tell you that they balling out of control, some of these women are. Half of these women ain't. They ain't balling out of control. Most women in this country do administrative work. What kind of work, Iceman? Administrative. Which 30 years ago, what do we call that? Secretarial work. Yeah, I said it. Secretarial. Most women in America are still nothing more than secretaries. Why? Because that's the line of work they go into. Nobody makes these bitches go into nothing. Even when you go to the military, most of the admin people are women. Who's sitting up in there in accounting and finance? A bunch of women. Yeah, they got some men in there, but most of them are women. Now, when you go over here for the blue collar positions, you got mainly men, but you have some dykey looking women who want to do that kind of work. I don't have a problem with it. If they could do the job, let them do it. Let them do it. If they can't do it, then tell them to get on like they've been spit on. %80 of the women out here do secretarial work. The other 20% are the managers and all the rest. And the rest of the women are what? They work low-wage jobs in casual dining and fast casual dining, aka fast food. You come down here to San Antonio, or you go up to Dallas or Waco or Austin, or you go to Houston and El Paso, and you go to any of these fast food restaurants, and you'll mainly see whom? Women. What color are the women? Mexican. Most of them are Mexican. You have to understand something. Most women in America work low wage jobs. The big equalizer was 18 years of child support. That's why after age 18, these women were asked out. They had to go find some kind of career to get into. So what do? They go to Everest College. They go to Everest College and become a certified nursing assistant. Most of these bitches down here, that's what they do. They either do that or they go to beauty school. They go to Wilford Beauty Academy. Wilford Beauty Academy. I could be something if I go through this cosmetology program and do hairs. That's what my boy used to say. She do hairs. No, dude, she does hair. Ignorant motherfucker. No, go to school, go in the same school with Mike Tyson ass nigga. Fuck out of here. These women ain't down here balling. And another equalizer is credit. If you got a halfway decent job, you make $300 or $400 a week on your job. That's what these motherfucking commercials be saying on the radio. Go to World Car for a lifetime. If you make $300 or $400 a week on your job, you could get a car. That's your paycheck's your credit. They love that shit down here. And they'll put them bitches in a new car and be charging $25. Charging them 25% interest on that loan. These motherfuckers down here love to go to them payday loan places. I seen motherfuckers with raggedy ass goddamn cars out there, car cutting off. Barely get the car in the fucking driveway, up in the parking lot. And they trying to get a loan off of it. I saw these two broke ass Mexicans out there trying to get some money off this old raggedy ass 5.0. I said, look at these broke motherfuckers. The man couldn't even keep the car running. They trying to get a loan off of it. They probably gave him $200 or $300 at 100%. At 100% fucking interest. There was a dumbass nigga on Judge Judy's show about 2 months ago. This nigga getting charged 166% on a payday loan, on a title loan. He only borrowed $300, but yet he done sat up here and paid over. He done fucked the loan up to the point where now he owed $1,300 on $300 because he didn't pay the loan when he should have. He didn't pay the loan on time, so the loan ended up. They end up tacking payments on to the end of the program. After a while, he just said, "Fuck it, I ain't gonna pay it," because he got the money to loan to this chick with his dumb ass, po ass nigga. It's a title loan, Judge Judy. Judge Judy was like, "Sir, you paying 166% interest on a $300 loan? The loan was $300. This motherfucker owed $1,300. Judge Judy was like, "Sir, you're gonna have to pay that loan off. I can't fix this. You gotta pay that loan off before I can make her pay you." You stupid motherfucker. She was like, "Sir, you don't have clean hands. You got to pay that loan off before you can even." It doesn't make any sense for me to make her pay you when you're suing her because of the loan. That creates a defect in your case. It's not going to make any difference because you're going to have to pay the $1,300 off. In order for you to be made whole, but her making her pay you. stupid motherfucker, old broke ass, old dusty nigga, old dusty ass 50 and cool nigga. This old dusty ass old nigga. Anyway, those of you who are too dumb to figure sociology out, I don't expect you to understand any of this. Because it's like this. I'm not saying that Trump's presidency will help you get pussy. Because you're probably some broke ass, dusty, felonious nigga that ain't getting no pussy anyway. That's why you're so negative. Whenever you get these niggas that write these messages like, oh, this nigga the Iceman saying that Trump gonna help niggas get pussy, when you know damn good and well I ain't said nothing like that. That's a nigga that don't have the critical thinking skills in order to figure out what I'm really saying is that Trump's presidency and the economic policies that he's going to push through Congress are going to make things difficult for women. Therefore, whenever women get scared, historically, economically, what do? They turn toward their men for support. That's a known fact. That's right out of the social psychology textbook. That's what women do. Whenever women find themselves in very dark economic times, they turn toward their men for support. Who else? Black men might not have as many jobs as black women have, but black men have more wealth than black women have. No matter how much money black women make, for some reason they still don't have more wealth than black men do. Did y'all know that? Black women make all this money. They're the number one group of getting at least a bachelor's degree in college. Black women are number one. Then white women. Then black men. Then white men. Asians are number one, but when they talk about numbers, black women get more college degrees than anybody else, but yet black women earn less than white women do, and they also earn less in the same careers as black men do. See, the person that doesn't have critical thinking skills hears that information and they just shut down because it doesn't make sense to them. Or they'll make some dumb comment like these idiots that say that I said that Trump's gonna help them get some pussy, when you ain't heard me say nothing like that. But that's what happens when you sit in prison for 3 or 4 years. You get dumber than you were when you first went in there. And again, you have to understand these are felonious niggas who don't have nothing going. This is the old dusty ass broken down nigga that claims he's conscious. He walking around with a fucked up Frederick Douglass afro. So he think that makes him conscious. So he's walking around trying to act like he know more than I do. See, that's where wisdom and intelligence comes in. Wisdom says, I'm not smarter than the Iceman. I can't live 50 years and know what he knows in 2 years. I can't outsmart the Iceman. Why don't I try to listen to this guy? See, wisdom would tell you that. Ignorance and intelligence and your lack of knowledge is the reason why you're still stuck in the rut that you're in. You can rewind all my videos. You will never find me in there saying, I'm telling niggas that Trump is going to help them get some pussy. I wouldn't even fix my mouth to say no dumb shit like that. Because it doesn't make sense. I would never say nothing that stupid. And I've said a lot of dumb shit. Not on this show, but in general. Feminism has given women a false sense of superiority. And what I mean is that the Trump administration's economic policy is going to take money out of women's pockets, especially single moms. And they're going to be hurting. I'm going to tell you right now, if they're screaming for mercy right now, you can best believe in 2020, they're really going to be begging it. They're going to be begging in agony. These women are going to be begging for Trump to get out of office. Please just remove yourself from office. But they're not going to get their wish, because Trump's going to be in there another 4 years as long as he don't piss off the monarchy of the UK and the bankers. They don't care if he gets up there and talks shit like he does. They don't care if he's got all these billionaires and millionaires as cabinet members. They don't care nothing about that shit. All they care about is as long as they keep black people in check. That's all Trump's got to do. He really ain't even got to do nothing to do that, because we keep ourselves in check by acting like niggas and being niggas. Not supporting black-owned businesses. Continuing to sit up here and spend 98% of our money outside our neighborhoods. That's why we don't have anything, and we're ripe for exploitation. I ain't worried about that, because I ain't never been in that class of people anyway that had to lower myself to do that and to be in that group. But I'm telling y'all, the niggas that write that kind of shit, I'm telling you, something's gonna happen to you, because it's obvious you ain't very smart. You're intelligent, but you don't have any wisdom. Ladies, I'm just gonna say this. Hopefully you'll learn something. Men are not going to chase you until the abyss of dating. They're not going to chase you into some black hole of dating. If a man doesn't see early on that he can win your heart in a time frame, or get them draws in a time frame that is suitable, that's in line with his dignity and self-respect, you can best believe he's going to walk. He's going to bounce. And he's going to go where he can be respected. If that means not even dating somebody from an online dating site, he's going to do it. If that means that he got to get out here and meet women in public more, then he'll do it. Because there's millions of women in this country who would never set foot on an online dating site. They're not all of them are college educated. Not all of them are pretty women. Some of these women are average looking. But some of these women have careers, they have class, they have dignity, and they're willing to meet you halfway. You just have to go look for them. And you're going to have to go to these conferences and training things that these women go to in order to meet these women. I'll give you an example. If you're an accountant, and there's an accounting, and there's the Women of Accounting, Women Accountants of America convention's going to be in Atlanta. I'm just making something up. It's going to be in New Orleans this summer. Well, you make sure you go to that shit. I tell guys that all the time. Go to something like that. You're already in the career field. Everybody, let me tell you something. The number one group of people who go to career stuff like that to boost their career, or they go to self-help seminars. You know who goes to that stuff? Women and married men with their wives. Those are the top 3 people who go to that kind of self-help stuff, or they go to stuff like career conventions, like the National Association of Female Psychiatrists. Do you know how many women are at that type of shit? If you're a psychologist and you go to that shit, and if they ask you, well, why are you going to this? You're a psychologist. I know some of the, it's not just for psychiatrists, but it's mainly for MDs. And you can be like, well, I decided to go because, there was a training that I wanted to go to, and I said, well, why sit up here and just go to one day and get a hotel for one night? I'll just, pay. It's a 5-night thing. I'll just pay for the whole thing. You can tell them hoes anything. Now she'll be like, oh, this guy cares about his career. Oh, he ain't a pussy hound. See, the more you separate yourself from what pussy hounds do, classy women like those kinds of women, the women who do not do online dating, those women, you'll find that you'll have longer, successful relationships with those kinds of women. Because the women that are online, that's the bottom of the barrel. That is the lowest common denominator. That is the lowest human life form that they do business with. You have to ask yourself, what self-respecting woman gets on an online dating site making some of the dumbest fucking pics that some of them women make? That's why every now and then I always do a super duper white guy video, because I have to show people how ugly and how crazy these women look. And they're on there with the big head. They got the biggest fucking egos. You would think these women were Miss America. And they look like shit. Most of them do. They look like the cross between burnt monkey feet and donkey shit. Ain't nothing fly about them bitches. But yet they on the on dating site talking about, I'm looking for somebody that's white. I don't date Hispanic or black men. I'm looking for somebody that's 6 feet tall and taller. I'm looking for somebody that at least makes $80,000 a year. Oh, they be on there talking so much shit. And the woman looks, on a scale of 1 to 10, she's about a 3. Sometimes they don't even look that good. Sometimes they're a 0 or 1, and they on there talking shit. Them motherfuckers are they're unbelievable. Them bitches are unbelievable, man. Believe it or not, they're out there. Anyway, this lecture's going on far enough. I got some things I need to do, so I'm gonna keep it moving. It's about that time. But the dating Bible, that's why I know I'm gonna have to do a book about dating from A to Z. And I'm gonna have to do a book that explains how to date and how to how to demand your respect. The problem with a lot of brothers is a lot of brothers don't have any respect for themselves, but they don't really know And a lot of these brothers, don't understand that how women treat you tells you what they think of you. So if you don't mind being a fetish, if you don't mind being minimized in a fetish, that's okay. But like I said, maybe it's because of my age. But it shouldn't be an age thing. Even if you're 20 years old, you should be a respectable black man who demands respect. Because when you see yourself in the mirror as someone who deserves respect, but also gives respect, then you walk around with the air that I give respect and I expect respect in return. So when white folks try to, or other non-black people try to disrespect you, you let them know with the quickness that you ain't that nigga. You ain't the nigga to be fucked with. I'll give you an example. I'm on the trail today, and one thing I notice about a lot of Mexican men is some of them will try to pull the same little games that white men, they try to do everything white men do. And I remember this, I'm walking on a trail today and I'm on my bike, and this Mexican dude, he got his wife or his girlfriend with him, and she's a pretty decent looking chick, but you know, man, I looked and I was kind of looking straight, and so my glasses kind of turned dark when I get out in when the sun is shining, when I get out of my truck, and so they're pretty clear if I'm just getting if the sun's not out, and at the time the sun wasn't really out. So I know he could see my eyes. And I'm riding past, and he gives me that side eye, like, let me look at this nigga and scare his ass. So he gave me that look like, like I don't approve. And I gave him a nasty ass look, and I looked him up and down. And, I don't get that every day, but I get that every now and then. No matter where I go around America, I get that shit. And no matter whether it's a white man doing it or a Mexican or anybody doing it, whenever anybody gives me the stink eye, I give it to them right back. And I notice this dude, and just like especially with a lot of Mexican dudes, a lot of these Mexican dudes bitch up when you look them in the eye and look at them like, man, I'll fuck you up. I notice a lot of them bitch up, and they show that bitch assness. That's who they are as a man in the first place. And so what I'm saying to you guys is this: you don't let anybody be disrespectful to you, and you don't let anybody make you think that you think low of yourself or you have a low opinion of yourself. Even if you do have a low opinion of yourself, when you get in front of them, you act like you have a high opinion of yourself. Okay? This is the Iceman telling you that you matter and that you are a human being. You are a descendant of the original man and woman, and you matter. You matter to me. And hopefully I matter to you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get out here and support these black-owned businesses. Let's go out here and support black-owned businesses in different industries, whether it be food service, retail, whatever. Go out here and support black-owned businesses. If you don't have my book, get my book, The Game of Life, according to the Iceman, Volume 1. I'm writing my new book, The Dating Bible, Maconomics 101. It's the A to Z guide to dating. You're gonna once I finish this book and you buy my book, you should be able to read that book from cover to cover, and you ought to be a new man or woman when it comes to dating. You no longer are you gonna feel the urge to date non-black, ugly, fat, ugly, skinny, and average or whatever women. You're not gonna be. You're not gonna. It's not gonna be acceptable to you to get hit on by the dregs of society, the lowest human common denominator of human beings. Okay? If you're not getting hit on by top shelf classy women, then you need to reread that book. Once I write it and you buy it, you're gonna have to reread that book if you're still going out here fucking fat, ugly, non-black women. To the pro-black brothers that only date black women, look, my videos are not just for you, man. Just like these videos are not just for these other guys. They're the guys that date non-black women. There's nothing wrong with it if that's what they want to do. If you don't want to date anybody other than black women, that's fine. But don't try to put these other brothers down because they do. What they need to understand is the more my videos they listen to, the more they're going to have an understanding of what's expected of them as black men. Now, if they don't want to change, there ain't nothing we can do about it. Maybe it's going to take a few more videos to learn something than it did for you. Also, if you want to suggest a topic for my show, make sure that you make a donation of at least $25 or more at AskTheIceman.com. Scroll down to the donate button. It'll tell you what to do from there. I have a side. I got your message, dude. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that video. I know you donated last week. I got you, bruh. Be on the lookout for that lecture. I'm either gonna do it tonight or I'm gonna do it tomorrow. So look for that this week, bruh. But donate some money. What we're doing right now, man, is we're saving up money to buy book bags for next school year. Trying to get with these black charter schools over here on the east side of San Antonio, so we can get this going before the summer. They usually try to get the money together before the summer so they can buy the book bags. Because believe it or not, a lot of these kids don't have paper. A lot of these kids don't have pencils and pens. Y'all think I'm joking, man. A lot of these kids do not have what they need to go to school. And even though you and I did when we went to school, you got to understand, man, a lot of these parents on crack, they on meth, they out here sucking dicks, they out here fucking, they out here doing everything but taking care of their children. Look here, man. If I don't help take care of black children, who will? Are you going to do it? Are you going to donate money to black-owned nonprofits like I have so that I can do it or we can do it? What other way, brother? We're going to have to start spending the money on our children. If their parents don't have the money or if they fucking their money off, hey, man, that's a topic for another day. The fact of the matter is, are we going to help this child right where they are, or are we going to let them grow up to be a product of their environment and be a statistic and end up possibly knocking you and me in the head or shooting one of us when we're out here trying to take care of our families? Is that what you want, brother, sister? Or do you want to help me take care of these kids? At least if nothing else, these black kids on the east side of San Antonio. Because most black folks live on the east side of San Antonio, and that's the side I help. I don't go down here buying book bags for these Mexican kids and all. No. There's several black-owned charter schools and private schools on the east side, and they work. They have 90% predominantly black students. and they get uniforms taken care of. They get scholarships. My man George Gervin, the Iceman, used to play for the San Antonio Spurs. He's got it. He's got a private school here. So it's a lot of brothers out here and sisters out here handling their business. Hey man, if you don't have time to help these kids, help me to help those kids. All right. You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm the Iceman Unchained. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say something that's been on my mind for the past year. You know, a lot of black folks was talking shit last year about the Oscars, saying that, you know, the black people didn't get nominated, let alone win anything last year. Let me just leave you with some information. The president of the association, the company that owns the Oscars, the president is a black woman that's owned. I said owned. That's owned and married to a white man. Okay, she's married to a powerful white dude in Hollywood. I think he's an executive at one of these studios. She was president last year when they didn't hardly nominate any black people for an Oscar last year. Okay, she's a black woman. When last year Chris Rock brought her out, she's a black woman. So it doesn't matter whether white supremacy can oftentimes come out in blackface. Okay, this black woman's married to a white man. Okay, look, when we start making our recognition for our people important, we ain't gonna give a fuck about the Oscars. You tune into the Iceman Show. Go to AskTheIceman.com for information on my show. Those of you who are waiting for a psychotherapy session for next week, sorry that we weren't able to get things together for this weekend. We will reconvene next week. If you hear this video tonight, make sure you email me. I'm checking my emails before I go to bed tonight, and we'll get your sessions taken care of. Okay, so don't fret. I will get around to you guys this week. I haven't forgotten about you guys. Super Sea Dragon, get at me, man. I'm thinking about you, bruh. I haven't forgotten about you. All right. I'll holler at y'all later. 1.